to grab the get their hands on the minutes from last month and go over them? I'm getting one nod there, so I'm going to assume you're the spokesperson, Erin. All right. I know everybody did their job and read through them, and so if nobody has any objections to them, does anybody want to make a motion to accept those minutes? This is where you all jump in. I can't do it.
I can never remember what to say. I motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Anybody want to second that motion?
I will.
All right. Anybody opposed? Good. Minutes passed. We'll get those on there. All right. So, put a lot of thought into this meeting tonight as we kind of we're at a point where we have to figure out what we're doing. I still think that we need to make contingency plans, but I think tonight is the night where we have to make that decision about whether we proceed as normal or do we plan block parties again? Where do we sit for this upcoming year? So not to put you on the spot, Shannon, but I'm going to. From the city's perspective, what is your guys' opinion and view about how to move forward at this point in time?
Well, I can't speak for the city per se, but the city is proceeding cautiously in everything that they're planning. So my sense is, I was just reading statistics today that, for instance, Marion County is at twice the rate to be reported as in the extreme category. So I don't think this is getting any better, as fast as we'd like it to get. I realize vaccines are going out, and I know OHA is really trying to roll out the vaccines as fast as possible, but there's a lot of groups that need to be vaccinated before the average person gets vaccinated. I just drove past Falk Park this evening, and the place was packed. Nobody had a mask on. Nobody was social distancing. And granted, there's probably households of people there, but that's how this is spreading, is households. But I don't know, Janice. I wish I could tell you exactly what we should do, but I'm of the mindset of canceling. That's my position. I'm not a voting member of this commission, but that's just my thought.
Okay, well, I turned to you because you are our liaison person. So I weigh heavily your opinion there. The reason go ahead.
I do have some positive news from the city perspective, though. Councilor Jennifer Ransom Smith, who just left city council last week because she moved outside city limits, wants to join the commission. So she'd be a great person to have on it. She's very well connected and she's got a lot of energy.
Yeah, she did reach out, and I've connected with her via email already. I was happy to see that for sure. I have gotten kind of conflicting opinions and messages. So I think I'd like to hear everybody's opinion on how they want to proceed. And then collectively as a group, we make that decision. I'll throw mine out there. My instinct tells me to plan for an event similar to what we had last year. As much as we all want the big fireworks show, we all want the big gathering, but being socially responsible, even if we started to see a turn in how things are, it just feels like, July is just too close for such a mass gathering. And as much as I want to have that big event and have that big celebration and that big party and that big get together, I don't want to be the person standing at the gate turning people away because we're only going to let so many people in. That wouldn't feel good for me. And I wouldn't want to be that person. I wouldn't want to put it on anybody else's shoulders either. Tino, you happen to be up in the upper corner of my view. So let's start with your thoughts.
I think we should also aim for something similar to last year. I'm hopeful, but we got to be realistic. So yeah, I think we aim for similar to last year.
Okay. Karen?
I will agree, but with the perspective that I would like us to see some way to do a fireworks show. I know a lot of cities were able to have one last year by having the fireworks set off in a high spot in the city and then just encourage everybody to watch them from their homes without people coming. And so I don't know if it would be possible to have it like at the football field at the high school or something. But because I think people are just more than ready to see some sort of something. So, and I'd hate for people to push back, so to say. Not that's the wrong word, but I'd hate for people to try to do too much. And if we can do something that's socially responsible and yet celebrates the town, then
I agree with that. Yeah. Aaron?
I'm on the same boat with, doesn't sound like anything's going to really kick off this year. So I'm thinking the block party thing's a good idea, but I'm also on the same boat with Karen as we need to do something fireworks wise or something along those lines. But I know that Kaiser Stadium has done some drive-in shows that seem to work pretty good. And that area that we have that we did the drive-in movies, you might be able to do something along those lines. But it's so limited. That's the problem. I don't know
where would you be able to shoot off from if that were the area that we were looking at?
I haven't really kind of dialed that in yet, but I think if we could work with Setnecker Farms, we might be able to, and Polk County, we might be able to set up on Hannah Road and light the fireworks off of Hannah Road over their farm, over their field or something, and kind of go from there. It's a mint field, so it wouldn't quite be harvest time yet. We'd have to do a really good job of cleanup, but
okay,
be a partnership of some sort that we'd have to get into.
Right.
But other than that, the high school works too. We can, I don't know how you would do a drive-in at the high school, but we could try something like that.
Yeah, like I said, other towns, they didn't even have the drive-in, and they just set them off and encouraged everybody to stay at their homes and go out in their front yards, or if they were too far away, to at least find a place to park on the street, street parking. And then they had the area blocked off where you couldn't park, your safety zone. But
Aaron, is there parking near that farm? Is that what you're envisioning, a drive-in at the farm?
No, the farm is adjacent to the drive-in movie location that we had last year. And I know we could get several more. We could get quite a few cars down there, and it would be a large enough area that you'd be able to, put several people down there. I just don't think it would be. You're right on the whole. How do you turn them away? Oh, sorry, there's too many cars here.
Yeah.
Do we give it to the highest bidder?
Well, I think that not only utilizing that area, but if we're talking about fireworks, we could go all the way out into the dog parking area where we can get quite a few cars in there as well.
Yeah. But then again, we got to social distance, and people will want to get in and out of their cars and that kind of thing. So challenging, but possibly doable.
Okay. Neil, what are your thoughts?
I agree that the small block parties is the way to go. The fireworks, you got my wheels spinning on that. I do like bringing them to this side of the river. That makes it easier for us.
Yeah.
So, but they've always been plenty safe over there. But yeah, I'm just thinking about where we could possibly light them off. I like the high school idea. Parking, it's just finding the right venue.
A little too, I think at the high school, we can only do a 2.5 inch shell because there's really only the 300-foot circle. So they wouldn't go very high. That's the downfall. So we need to have somewhere where there's 600 feet of direction around us. So we can get the 5-inch shells that'll go 500 feet in the air, which you'd be able to see from a long ways away. But yeah, I don't know. There's got to be somewhere where we can. It would be better if we could do it in late.
And what?
Postpone the 4th of July to late September,
Well,
somewhere in there. You know, just because then we could all the farm fields are harvested, and if you go out, there's a lot of farm field around here. We could park a bunch of cars on and light a show off in the middle of the farm fields.
well, is that a possibility? Still have the block party for the 4th and then shoot off the fireworks on Labor Day weekend or something, celebrate going back to school and going back to normal. And
Yeah, I don't know.
Certainly.
That's again another one of those, we're gonna have to figure it out kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure that would be overly well received.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, Aaron, can you kind of put that on your task list as to maybe scope out some locations that we would be able to accommodate some vehicles, as well as obviously meet the guidelines for what you're going to need legally. I'm trying to think while we're sitting here, but I'll be honest, my brain is fried after these last couple of weeks. So
yeah.
Let's connect.
In all honesty, the best place is pretty much down at that at the boat ramp down there. We can stack several cars in there, and then once it's full, it's full. You put a truck across the road, and no more cars. And
what would our draw be if that wasn't publicized outside of our community?
We don't really hardly ever advertise outside of the community. So we still get that heavy draw. Word of mouth.
After last year with not having the fireworks, and then almost like if it was a last minute, kind of a last minute advertisement to our people.
Yeah. I don't know. I could see 5,000 to 8,000 people pretty easily.
Yeah.
I think that's our normal for the hometown day is between 5 and 8.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Logistically, it would be challenging to figure out, but there's got to be one way or another to make that happen. So.
And chances are you're going to get a lot of people, bringing chairs and sitting along the river, even down here at Riverview Park, because once you're on the bank of the river, you're going to be able to see those fireworks real well.
Yeah, I saw a really cool little idea. They took a bunch of fencing and made 3-sided little sheep corrals, and then they corralled the families into each one of these little 8 foot by 8 foot by 8 foot squares, and had 6 feet in between each one of those squares, and the families got to sit in each one of them little squares and watch the concert.
So that's kind of what popped into my head when you talked about people being down on the riverbank. It's just sectioning off areas and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It would be a challenge. We couldn't Riverview Park. We could probably do in the exact same location and just set out. First come, first serve. They're going to be $20 a pop.
Well,
for an 8 foot by 8 foot square, and the rest of you got to watch it from somewhere else. So I don't know how to. It's so hard to figure out the logistic part of it.
Well, but that does bring up a good point. Logistics aside, we have a financial barrier that's it's quite a bit of money. Obviously, we wouldn't need the same amount because we wouldn't do 2 shows. We would just do, or maybe we do the 2 shows, and if we're worried about having too many people, if we have sectioned off areas and then it's just a, limited capacity each night, I don't know.
Yeah.
We could do it. We could have Ticketmaster get involved, and how they open the phones and sell off all the spots. And
Yeah.
Yeah. And
well,
limit
sorry,
people
we're
to
sold out of
just,
tickets. That's just all there is to it.
and somehow try to figure out a way to limit attendance to where you only get to go to one show. You can't go to both.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But again, the logistics of that's very challenging.
Mhm. Yeah, it is for sure. But I think it's something good to think about. I don't know. I think the thing that doesn't sit well with me about Riverview Park is I want to make sure that while we're, providing just what the community needs right now and what the community wants at Riverview Park, if we do have sectioned off areas, it's still an invitation. At some point, it's not our job to make everybody be socially responsible for themselves, but I also don't want to give an ample opportunity, for people gathering that shouldn't be. And if we have sectioned off areas, they're not going to be able to drive out to these areas. So that's going to be a whole lot of people gathering in crowds to walk to their areas. And that doesn't, I don't know that sits well.
Yeah. Because we could section off the boat ramp area and probably get more people there than we could Riverview Park. But again, that, like you said, getting people to their little square for the day or for the evening is, going to be challenging, because you can't just say, well, we want the A, last name was A coming at 6, and then this people, how do you do that? It doesn't.
Yeah.
So, I think a big part of it will be to see in March if the governor extends her emergency declaration or not. That'll really make a big difference as to whether or how tight the social distancing thing's going to continue to be.
Okay. I think we have a good idea of the direction that we want to head. So I think from here, it's just going to be a matter of just tasking out the things that need to get done. I think we have a good base beginning for the block parties. If we just kind of piggyback off of last year, see how we can expand on them. As well as I will deal with the financial side this month, as far as we're gonna have to figure that part out. Still haven't found a money tree yet for myself personally or for this event. So whatever money we spend, we either need to recuperate it or we adjust our future budget. So I'll be connecting with Tom hopefully sometime this next week, and we'll start having those conversations and everything. So I think for now, I really ultimately where my faith lies in everybody who pitches in here is we have run a really, really good tight ship for so long that, let's say best of situations happens, March, April, everything is good to go. Everything is to open up. Could we throw together our normal event? I believe that we can, with the exception of, I see you laughing there, Tino. I believe in you guys. We can make this happen. With the exception of, possibly I think where we would falter the most, possibly is entertainment, just because that's usually planned so far in advance.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
It's going to be difficult.
Yeah.
What's that, Shannon?
Anything that requires contracts is going to be difficult to do at the last minute there. But if we do figure out a place to do the fireworks and we do make the decision to do 2 fireworks shows, do we even need to do the block parties? I mean, I think people are starved for the fireworks.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking if we do 2 nights of fireworks, why don't we instead work with all the restaurants in town to create special picnic baskets or whatever for people to pick up and take to the fireworks with them. That way the businesses get some extra business maybe. And we don't have to sweat the details during the daytime. We can put all the energy into the fireworks and trying to figure out the logistics of that.
I like that idea. I think just to kind of expand that a little bit, put our efforts into making this driving parade happen as well. I know that that was sorely missed last year. So maybe, maybe that's what our focus could be, is just focusing on those fireworks show and a really, really nice driving parade, whether it's a parade that we have set up on, in an area where people can come and drive by. I know that was really popular last year, but it just doesn't sound as fun. But as if, we take the time now to kind of put together some driving parades that can hit different neighborhoods and stuff. That and the fireworks, I think those are the two things we missed last year. And those are the two things that people want. Well, that and elephant ears. So we'll have to figure out how to incorporate that somehow. So I'm pretty sure that there would be more hate mail over the lack of elephant ears than the lack of fireworks.
True.
Well, there was a
Great,
pretty
Aaron.
good show last year, all in every neighborhood.
What's that, Neil?
I said there was a pretty good show last year in every neighborhood with the fireworks.
Yeah, there really was.
Okay,
Except
Aaron.
for downtown. Except for downtown. There wasn't much down here.
Now, the police are a little close to the downtown.
Okay, so moving forward, let's plan on, Aaron, you and I connect next week. Why don't you kind of rack your brain, do some looking around at some possible locations. I do like the idea of 2 different fireworks shows. If we're going to do them, I think that it's only fair to make sure that we can at least do everything we can to include the entire community. It just doesn't feel right to just limit it to a small amount and we can't accommodate everybody. We're never going to be able to accommodate everybody, but we can at least do what we can to accommodate as much as we can. Shannon, let's you and I touch base in the next couple of weeks, and let's start making a game plan for your idea of incorporating the businesses downtown, or the businesses throughout the communities. I know that
the Downtown Association will probably jump on top of that too, because the Downtown Association has all the connections already.
Okay.
So we know what businesses are hurting, and the businesses are getting much more involved with the Downtown Association because they need support. So I think they'll be a great group to partner with on this.
Okay.
They're a really good liaison too between Ida and the city.
Yeah. Courtney, right?
But yeah. Unfortunately, she'll be having a baby about that time, so
yeah. I want to make sure that we don't get tunnel vision on just downtown, that we incorporate the entire, both communities if possible.
It's Courtney's job to be the liaison with all the businesses, not just downtown, but I is focused on downtown. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Shannon, let's you and I connect. Let's do that over email in the beginning, just because I have a couple of huge things going on at work right now that makes it really difficult to be available by phone.
I have for you is your Marion County one. Is that the one you want me to use?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm there more than I'm at home.
Okay.
At least my family thinks so. Karen, can you start brainstorming ideas about how to pull off a parade? And I'm not going to dump it on you completely. I'll definitely work with you. But let's start getting some ideas together in regards to that. And then Tino and Neil, of course, will keep you guys looped in, because I know that, knowing those plans are going to be really pivotal to the jobs you guys perform. So,
is there any talk, Karen, from the parade committee?
I haven't heard anything lately, but at Rotary, but I will definitely visit with them at the next meeting. I know they'd like to figure out a way if possible, but they aren't sure how to do it. So, but I think, granted, it was just a one float parade, but the Elsa thing, Fantastic Friday, whatever it was that we had, where we didn't have a route publicized and then just kind of had a parade and everybody just, oh, a parade's coming, and stood out in their front yard instead of having people lined up on the streets. You know, I'm wondering if that's something we could pull off. I don't know for sure, but
that was the concept that we had talked about last year, because we don't want to encourage any crowds. So we had talked about having, you know, speakers on the vehicles that would throw some music forward so that people would know it was coming. So, yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So I'll
Well,
keep
maybe.
brainstorming that. Yeah. So I'll visit with the Rotary folks and then keep thinking about a way to do this.
Perfect. That's good connection with you in that spot. And, you know, it's definitely, if it's something that they want to help with, you know, absolutely. It's, you know, we need to work together on it. So. All right. Anything else you guys want to touch on tonight? I think we have some good plans to move forward with at the moment.
So I do have a little thing. The college has normally donated the gators and stuff to us in turn to the use of some of our equipment, like the bigger tent. They called and asked if it would be possible to use the tent, the big tent, so that they could do their outdoor gym outside, because they're spring training for all of their people. But I didn't know if it was something I should just offer up to them. I mean, we normally do. They said it would be through the springtime, a little more use than just a weekend or so, 2-3 weekends out of the year, but it'll be up around the clock for that time. So I thought I'd bring it up to the commission and see what they thought. I know that it's city-owned equipment, but still, I should respect the commission on it.
Aaron, I missed that. I'm sorry. But just a brief synopsis. What are you?
The college is asking to use one of our large tents that we have, so they can put their workout facility outside, so they can
Thank you.
do their exercising. So.
I would say, I mean, my 2 cents on it is, you know, they're a great support to us, and we definitely want to be a good community support as well. I would suggest you run that by Tom. We had somebody else in the community reach out to us to borrow them for the same concept, and it was not deemed a good idea. Just run it by Tom and just make sure that the difference is, I think who reached out to us, it would be on a for-profit basis, whereas this is for the school, so that might be the difference there. But
I think it would be part of that intergovernmental agreement.
Yeah, I believe so. But I think at least for me, I would feel more comfortable if you ran it by Tom. Right. I don't want to put us in a position to make any waves with anything.
Yeah, that makes sense. I just knew that long-term, setting it up for a long-term process is going to have a little more effect on it than.
Yeah, so that was my other concern is, will there be a rental agreement in place? I know that when we take the gators, there's a lot of paperwork we have to sign, and that should probably be reciprocated just in case there's any catastrophic damages done to it.
Yep, the wind picks it up and throws it away. That's it.
Yeah. All righty. Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Anything else from anybody?
Just wanted to let you know, I did hear from Vidal. He said that if COVID allows, the Grove Church is ready for a community service if it allows. So.
Good. Awesome. All righty.
Shannon, good call on limiting it to parade and fireworks.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
That's
definitely.
Just do it small, but do it well. I think that's what we need to focus on.
The comment thing, fireworks. So I'd rather we do it than people do it in my neighborhood again. So Awesome.
All right,
little-
guys.
Little different story between a half-hour show and an ongoing
All
6-hour
right.
show.
Yeah, I think 6 hour was the short version in my
I
neighborhood.
think so too. Yeah, mine too.
Yeah,
All right.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
All righty, guys.
I'll be in touch.
What's that?
I'll be in touch. I'm making a list of restaurants now.
Oh, good. Awesome. Okay. All right, guys. I will touch base with some of you guys. If not, I will see you guys in a month.
All right.
February 11th.
Yeah.
Bye.